Nobody builds something that big underground just for fun.
Deep underground, where sunlight never reaches, there are cities carved by ancient hands and facilities whose purpose remains classified till today. So let's uncover, because as I always say, sometimes the world doesn't need explanation. It just needs to be seen differently. With that in mind, let's begin. At the heart of Russia's Ural Mountains stands a peak that has stirred unease among intelligence agencies for decades. Mount Yamantau, the Black Mountain. Satellite images reveal vast excavation sites, tunnels, and rail lines leading straight into the mountain, yet no official explanation has ever been given. During the Cold War, U.S. analysts suspected Yamantau was home to a massive nuclear command bunker, or a vault for Russia's most critical archives. Construction reportedly continued well into the 1990s, long after the Soviet Union's collapse. Though Russian officials dismiss it as a food storage site, but obviously very few believe that. What's certain is that something colossal lies beneath Yamantau, and it's still active. If the Black Mountain truly hides a self-sustaining underground world, it might not just be a relic of the past, it could be humanity's plan. The USSR weren't the only ones carving secrets into stone. Half a world away, deep within the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, lies America's own Black Mountain, the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Built during the peak of the Cold War, this underground fortress was designed to survive a direct nuclear strike. Its huge blast doors, each weighing over 25 tons, protect a maze of tunnels and command centers that used to be operated by NORAD, the group that kept an eye on the skies for incoming missiles. Officially, it's now on standby, but reports suggest parts of the facility remain active, humming quietly beneath 2,000 feet of granite. Some even claim it's a backup nerve center for the US government, a mirror image of Mount Yamantau. And that instinct isn't new. Long before the Cold War, ancient civilizations were already digging into the earth, not for war, but for survival. Thousands of miles away, another mountain hides a mystery of its own, one that predates modern history. Linked through ancient tunnels, Keimakli seems to extend Derinkuyi's network even farther, forming what may have once been a massive interconnected world beneath Cappadocia. Archaeologists have mapped 8 levels so far, though locals insist there are more sealed off generations ago.
This entire underground city is itself connected to another underground city.
That's the suspicion, that they sort of had this ability to create this whole underground network.
The city's ventilation system is so advanced that even at its deepest points, air still flows effortlessly. Hidden chambers hint at communal meeting halls and storage rooms, carved with precision beyond their era's tools. Together, Keimakli and Derinkuyi suggest an ancient engineering project on a continental scale, one designed not for comfort, but for survival. Across the Iranian desert lies Nushabad, a city whose secret wasn't found in ruins, but beneath the streets of a living town. A local discovered the underground maze when he was digging up a well and accidentally found this in the 2000s. Below him was an intricate network stretching over 3 stories deep, complete with escape routes, air vents, and water wells. Historical records reveal the tunnels date back to the Sassanid Empire, over 1,500 years ago, built as a refuge during invasions.
Even if invaders found a way inside, they had to survive surprise attacks in these curving corridors or traps set in pits. All these were devised to stop intruders from reaching these chambers where civilians will take refuge.
But locals tell of deeper levels, sealed corridors and hidden chambers untouched by light for centuries. Archaeologists suspect that only a fraction of Nushabad has been uncovered. The rest might still lie beneath modern foundations, quietly holding on to a past the surface world has forgotten. Far from the Middle East, another mystery lies buried under one of the most iconic cities of the ancient world, Teotihuacan. Beneath the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent, archaeologists discovered a tunnel sealed for 1,800 years.
There is an underground shaft that goes from the mica chamber in direction of the pyramid.
Inside were artifacts of gold, jade, and seashells, and most disturbingly, pools of liquid mercury.
Mercury cannot exist in its native form in nature.
No one knows why the mercury was there, but researchers believe it might have represented an underworld river or something symbolic of power and resurrection. Because the Teotihuacan's builders remain nameless, even the Aztecs arrived centuries later and called it the place where gods were born. The tunnel's architecture, alignment with celestial points, and unexplained chemical traces suggest a civilization whose knowledge of engineering, and possibly something else, was far ahead of its time. Whatever the ancient architects of Teotihuacan built beneath their city, it wasn't meant for ordinary ordinary eyes. What if these underground worlds weren't just shelters? What if they were messages carved in stone, left for the ones who would come after? What are your thoughts on this? Share them down below and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. In the ruins of Reactor 4 at Chernobyl sits something so dangerous that it's hard to wrap your head around. It's known as the elephant's foot. This bizarre mass was formed when molten uranium mixed with concrete after the explosion in 1986, and then hardened into what looks like cracked skin. Back when it was fresh, it let off over 10,000 roentgens of radiation per hour, enough to claim a person in just a few minutes. Scientists were really worried about the possibility of the molten core reaching groundwater because it could lead to another massive explosion. To keep an eye on it, they used wheeled cameras since no one could safely go near. Even now, decades later, it still emits dangerous radiation and seems to be slowly changing, almost like it's decaying or evolving. Some researchers have even gone so far as to call it alive due to the ongoing chemical reactions happening within it. Cleanup crews once claimed they heard it humming, even though official reports say otherwise. These days, the elephant's foot is sealed in concrete and monitored remotely, as its unpredictable nature continues to baffle scientists. It serves as a haunting reminder of how humanity created something that's hard to explain, a glowing testament to our limits. If you're hooked on these mind-bending mysteries so far, make sure to hit that like button. It helps us keep exploring the unexplainable corners of our world. Mesa Verde, home to the ancestral Puebloans, was once a thriving community carved directly into the mountain walls. Its dwellings, some hidden over 8,500 feet above sea level, were built with astonishing precision, complete with ventilation systems, storage rooms, and kivas, circular underground chambers used for rituals.
Well, we're walking into the middle of downtown Mesa Verde of the late 1200s. This is Sun Temple here. So this was the center of the action. This was where everyone in the surrounding area probably came.
Then, around the 13th century, the people of Mesa Verde disappeared. No war, no destruction, only silence. Some archaeologists point to drought or migration, but others suspect something more deliberate, as though the inhabitants knew something was coming. Descending into Poland's Wieliczka, salt mine feels like stepping into another world, one carved not of stone, but of salt.
And there are also some cool little stalactites decorating the corner of the room. Carrying on our little adventure, the guide encourages us to have a little taste of the wall. I would not recommend.
For over 700 years, miners dug deeper and deeper, creating a subterranean city of tunnels, chapels, and chambers stretching more than 178 miles. Within its depths lies the Chapel of St. Kinga, a vast cathedral sculpted entirely from salt, complete with chandeliers, reliefs, and altars that shimmer under soft light. It's both beautiful and unsettling, as though the mine itself became a temple to something ancient and unspoken.
Salt white, but it's black, but it's salt. If you don't trust me, you can taste it. And salt preserves everything. Take me as example. I'm 65 years old and I'm still fresh, still young.
Even though Wieliczka is open for visitors now, there are still big sections that are blocked off. Some paths are underwater and others are too risky to explore. What's hiding behind those doors is still a mystery, but the deeper you go, the more you can feel the air buzzing, almost like it's alive. From holy salt caverns to a prison swallowed by time, Rumu in northern Estonia is a place both haunting and serene. Once a Soviet labor camp, it was abandoned when the quarry it stood beside flooded after the collapse of the USSR. The rising water submerged the entire complex, trapping buildings, machinery, and watchtowers beneath the surface. Divers now explore the eerie remains where light dances over crumbling walls and staircases that go nowhere. Locals refer to it as the sunken prison, a reminder of past hardships that's been taken over by nature. But there are rumors that Rumu was more than just a prison. Some say there are secret rooms below the water that were sealed off before everything flooded. Truth or not many people are brave enough to dive deep enough to find out. Hidden in the quiet town of Gold Hill, Oregon lies the Oregon vortex, where gravity and perception appear to twist themselves into knots. Inside the House of Mystery, balls roll uphill, brooms stand unaided, and visitors shrink or grow depending on where they stand. Scientists call it optical illusion, yet compasses spin wildly, and measurements taken outside the shack reveal forces that shouldn't exist. Local native tribes once called this land cursed, saying animals refused to enter it. In the 1930s, physicist John Lister studied the site for decades, claiming it was shaped by a spherical energy field bending light itself. His notes remain unsolved. Even modern researchers admit that not everything can be explained by tilted floors. Some say the vortex sits atop intersecting geomagnetic ley lines, others that it's a thin point between worlds. Tourists leave dizzy, cameras glitch, and sound seems to fade into an unnatural hush, as though the air itself warps reality. But not all distortions bend light and magnetism. Some rewrite the motion itself. Thousands of miles south, in one of Earth's hottest deserts, the ground seems to come alive. We've uncovered only fragments of what lies below. For every tunnel explored, there's another sealed forever. Whether built by ancient hands or modern governments, the message seems clear. What's underground isn't gone. It's waiting. Because the deeper we dig, the more we realize. The Earth remembers everything. If you liked this video, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And don't forget to share it with your friends. See you next time.